Pennsylvania. This is CBS 21 News at 6.
And now to CBS 21 First Warning Weather. I'm Chief Meteorologist Tom Russell. It's hot, it is humid. You can just kind of feel the heat and that heavy, thick air, all the humidity there as well. Let's go ahead and show you some of the numbers, and you'll see those 90s across the board. 93 in Philadelphia, Scranton at 92. A little cooler as you get out towards Altoona, 85. Pittsburgh at 86. 91 Carlisle, 91 Chambersburg. So if you're just coming home and taking a walk with the dog or something, don't overdo it. There is plenty of heat, and it continues this evening as we walk into tomorrow. 9 o'clock, we're clear, 82. 11 o'clock, clear skies, still very muggy, 78. And tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., a hot and steamy 72 as we start the day. So we reach 90 today. I think we do 90s the next 2 days. So it looks like it's a full-fledged heat wave. The difference will be tomorrow we start to see that chance for afternoon storms. We'll show you all that with the 7-day coming up in just a few minutes. Rob, Lara, back over to you.
All right, Tom, thanks. New details about a deadly fire in Lancaster County this morning. Tonight we know it's turned into an arson investigation, and police say the homeowner was found dead from a gunshot wound.
CBS 21's Donna Kirker-Morgan is live in West Hempfield Township with why some people thought they heard fireworks going off. Donna.
It's because it was a violent fire. And we also just learned that police believe that this man actually set fire to the garage here, went upstairs and killed himself because he was to be evicted on this very day. Jordan Miller and Kara Reef stand outside their home today in shock.
We woke up to a very loud boom. It was actually two back-to-back booms. Incredibly loud. Fire
and explosions coming from the home next door.
It was unreal. I can hardly even remember. It was unreal. My adrenaline just went through the roof.
West Hempfield Township firefighters had to deal with treacherous conditions.
A propane tank had exploded and landed about a block away, or portions of that propane tank about a block away. Lucky it didn't strike a house. We had paint cans explode and kind of go flying as well.
And then a horrible discovery made inside a top floor bedroom.
There was a 46-year-old male inside the home who is deceased.
He was dead not from the fire, but instead from a gunshot. But police don't suspect foul play, and there has been no evidence so far that anyone else set the fire than the owner, who Kara believed lived here alone.
When I would come home from work, he would always say hi, ask how my day was and how the moving's going, because we just moved in like 2 weeks ago.
No indications he was a troubled, sad man?
No, not at all.
The chief says an autopsy will be done on Friday. Investigators will continue their work, and this young couple will begin the work of repairing their home that they just moved into. And so far, no name has been released of the man who was found inside this home. Reporting live in Lancaster County, Donna Kirker-Morgan, CBS 21 News.
All right, Donna, thanks. The firefighters who responded to that fire in West Hempfield Township were volunteers.
But a Millersville University professor and volunteer firefighter himself says the number of fires in PA is going up, but the volunteer firefighter force is going down at an alarming rate. At one point, Pennsylvania had over 250,000 volunteers. That's down to just 45,000 now. The professor created a survey to find out how fire companies can keep volunteers.
We just had an open house a month and a half ago, and we spent thousands of dollars. And we had over 2 days about 8 people show up. The number one question is, how did you come to become a member here? And number two is, what keeps you here?
The main complaints he hears are the training hours are long and companies are constantly forced to raise money for equipment. It's estimated that volunteers save PA taxpayers $6 billion every year.
And now to the budget battle, taking a live look at the state capitol where a deal still hasn't been ironed out. The legislature is not in session again today as negotiators are trying to settle a more than $1 billion shortfall in the plan. Lawmakers sent the main appropriations bill in a $31.5 billion spending plan to Governor Wolf's desk last week, but he says he won't sign it without a sustainable way to pay for it. Higher taxes on tobacco products and a huge expansion of casino-style gambling are under discussion, but the clock is ticking toward decision day for Wolf. He has until midnight Monday to partially or fully veto the proposal, or it becomes law without his signature. Lara?
Thanks, Rob. In local news now, after months of discussion and numerous public hearings, marijuana possession now comes with less of a punishment in Harrisburg. The ordinance passed yesterday makes possession and use of marijuana and its paraphernalia a summary offense. It works on a 3-strike basis. First and second-time offenders face a fine of $75, and third-time offenders face criminal charges. City council members say it'll save offenders and the police department money.
In York County, the feds have cited a York County healthcare provider for not protecting its home care workers from sexual assaults. OSHA fined And Venture Inc., also known as Epic Health Services, $98,000. This follows a complaint in February by an employee who was sexually assaulted by a home care client. OSHA says And Venture had already been warned about that client by another employee of sexual assault.
Take a look at this. A van goes up in flames in Dauphin County. It happened this afternoon on Progress Avenue. Look at all of that smoke. Happened near Valley Road in Susquehanna Township. Dispatchers tell us they don't believe anyone was hurt. Police are investigating what sparked the flames.
Covering the West Shore now, a man has been arrested after police say he was caught in the act setting a tree on fire in an area that's seen a recent rash of arson. 35-year-old Brian Mullins is now facing arson charges. Authorities are still investigating to see if he's connected to other fires in Lower Allen Township, including a suspicious house fire. Flames broke out there last month on Ravenwood Road in Mechanicsburg. Police are still investigating.
A child is recovering in Mifflin County after getting hit by a car. Police say the driver will face charges. It happened yesterday on Bell Avenue in Granville Township. Police say the 5-year-old girl was thrown about 20 feet in the air. We know she has several broken bones, but is expected to survive. Police are still investigating.
It's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing that happened to him. He didn't deserve that.
A deadly confrontation with police caught on camera. Tonight, the FBI and the Department of Justice are taking over the investigation into last night's police shooting of a black man in Baton Rouge.
We want to warn you, some of the cell phone video of this incident is disturbing. CBS 21's David Bagnott has more on the outrage and emotional reaction.
Cell phone video shows officers confronting Alton Sterling outside of a convenience store in Baton Rouge. The suspect is tackled. During the struggle, someone screams, "He's got a gun." Seconds later, shots are fired. Sterling is pronounced dead at the scene. The 37-year-old's family and community leaders are calling it murder. Sterling's son broke down as his mother addressed the media.
One of the greatest fears is to see your child hurt and knowing there's nothing you can do about it.
Baton Rouge police say officers were responding to reports of a man selling CDs outside of a convenience store. That man had reportedly threatened someone with a gun.
Top is suspicious cause 2. He's on the corner, gun in his pocket. He pulled a gun on a complainant.
The convenience store owner says police took a gun out of the suspect's pocket after he was shot.
It is irrelevant. If you look at the video, it certainly speaks for itself. Mr. Sterling was not reaching for a weapon.
In Jesus' name! The shooting has sparked protests across Louisiana's capital city. The head of the Baton Rouge NAACP is calling for the police chief to be fired. David Begnaud, CBS News, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
A big announcement from President Obama today. He says thousands of U.S. troops will stay in Afghanistan longer than expected.
The president planned to cut armed forces levels by the end of the year, but now he says the threat from the Taliban is too great. Instead of going down to 5,500 troops, the U.S. will keep nearly 9,000 service members through the end of his administration. The president says the U.S. and its allies have made progress forcing al-Qaeda out, but he says the war-ravaged country still needs America's support.
Even as they improve, Afghan security forces are still not as strong as they need to be.
Of the 9,800 U.S. troops serving in Afghanistan, 1,400 will leave by the end of the year.
In a consumer alert tonight, one of this year's hottest toys is sparking a major recall for doing that, ending up like that. 10 companies are recalling more than 500,000 hoverboards because the batteries can catch fire.
If you own a hoverboard, please stop using it immediately.
The commission says all of the recalled hoverboards were made with fundamental design flaws. Affected customers are being told to contact the manufacturer for a full refund, replacement, or repair. For a full list of the hoverboards included in this recall, you can always head to our website, cbs21.com. A heartbreaking story about a puppy battling for its life after being found in Lancaster County.
How the rescue dog is doing on his road to recovery. Tom?
All right, time to start talking about heat index. The temperature plus the humidity, and you get 99 is what it feels like in Harrisburg. It's a hot one and getting hotter. Your first warning forecast straight ahead.
You're watching CBS 21 News at 6. On News at 6 with Robb Hanrahan, Tanya Foster, Chief Meteorologist Tom Russell, and Jason Bristol with sports. This is CBS 21 News at 6.
Humane societies and vets around the area are seeing an increase in dogs with a highly contagious and life-threatening disease. It's called the parvovirus. It's spread through the feces of an infected dog. Symptoms include vomiting, lethargy, bloody diarrhea, and fever. Infected dogs can be treated if caught early, but 90% of infected dogs die. The best way to prevent it is through vaccination.
A puppy continues to fight for his life after being found in Lancaster County. We want to warn you the video may be difficult to watch. We first told you about the dog last night. Now we're checking in with the people working desperately to save his life. CBS 21's Kristen Maisel is live in your county with the ways you can help. Kristen.
Hey, Lara, good evening. Yeah, I will tell you this story will make you cry, it'll break your heart, and it'll probably say, you'll make you want to say all very many times at the screen. I know I definitely did seeing Libre, this adorable little 7-week-old pup. But you know, hopefully the story that is unfolding next to me at this vet will also give you a sense of hope.
She pretty much said, put him down. And I told her, no, do whatever you have to do to save this dog. We cry a lot.
Janine Guido's 4th of July was full of sobbing instead of celebration. The founder of Speranza Animal Rescue, she received a photo from a friend
Of a puppy who looked like it was on death's door.
The puppy's name is Libre, found on a farm in Lancaster County, severely neglected, his skin infected, and his hair completely gone.
He's in awful shape.
But this little guy must have some angels watching over him. Rescued, now recovering at the Dillsburg Vet Center.
It's a big girl.
Staff looking after him 24/7, doing whatever it takes to get this little guy healthy again.
His white blood cell count did improve.
He was very interested in food. He was drinking some water, so we were able to get him to stand on all fours earlier this morning.
He's in the best hands.
This little guy, part pup, all warrior. Oh, 100% warrior, that little guy. So adorable and definitely praying for a return to his health. Libre, by the way, if you're wondering, is Spanish for free, and it definitely fits with him very well because he is now free of neglect and free of pain. If you'd like to help Libre, there are 2 ways you can do so. You can call the Dillsburg Vet Center. You can also donate to the Animal Rescue. All the information how to contact both, that's up on our website. Just head to cbs21.com and click on this story on the homepage. Reporting live in Dillsburg, Kristen Maisel, CBS 21 News.
And now, CBS 21 News First Warning Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Russell.
Well, the July heat is on. Hope you're getting through it just fine, and you will if you take a look at gorgeous pictures like this. This actually comes from a few days ago. Tammy sent this in. She said this is the sunset from where the Swiderra meets the Susquehanna. We were on our son's pontoon boat waiting for the Londonderry fireworks. It was a beautiful night. Indeed it was, Tammy. Thank you for sharing that great picture. It's the weather from your window. If you'd like to share with us, weather at cbs21.com is how you do that. Weather at cbs21.com. All right, let's talk about what we've got to talk about for the next couple of days, and that's the heat index. So what is the heat index? You take the temperature, factor in the humidity, and you get that heat index number. Now the deal is your skin can't evaporate that sweat when it's really, really humid. So that makes it feel even warmer than it is. So that's what we mean by heat index. So we're going to feel lots of that. We started to feel today. 92 is the high. 86 is normal for this time of year. So obviously above average, and we're going to feel that for the next several days. Still now, as we're past 6 o'clock, 91 still in Harrisburg, 88 in Lebanon, 91 in Reading right now. Lewistown, you're coming in at 90. Blaine at 87, 91 in Chambersburg. Factor in that humidity, and it feels like 99 in Harrisburg. Feels like 95 in York. So this is the kind of heat where you just don't want to overdo it. You come home, you've been in the air conditioning all day, maybe at work, and then you kind of overdo it as you take a normal jog or a walk or something like that. So take it easy in the heat. There's 91 in Harrisburg, 85 as you head over towards Pittsburgh, 93 Philly. Baltimore, BWI 90 right now, 93 in Washington, D.C. We've been nice and clear. That's been allowing a lot of that heat to build in. Off to the west, some showers, some storms, making it about as far as Cleveland. We're going to start to feel some of this juice build in as we go into tomorrow. So in other words, even more humid and probably a degree or two hotter as well. 89 as you head down 81 towards Roanoke, 93 as you mentioned in the nation's capital, 82 now in Boston. They were a little bit warmer about an hour ago. So we've got plenty of moisture out there. The question is what's going to come along and be the trigger? What's going to help fire off some of these? Well, in this situation, it's basically just the heat. You get the heat of the day and you get some of these storms to fire up. So nothing happening overnight. You're going to see a bit more cloud cover tomorrow, and with that, a chance for a few afternoon storms. I still don't think we see a lot of rain tomorrow, but just with the heat, the humidity, we'll see a couple of pop-up storms. The day we have to watch out for will be Friday, because now a more organized line of storms will push in here and get going as we go through the early afternoon in the western part of the state and then into the afternoon and evening for us. So this is 4 or 5 o'clock on Friday and then into the evening with some showers, maybe even some severe weather. So definitely a heads up for Friday. And then Saturday, I think we kind of wake up to the cloudiness and then we slowly clear it out and things get a little more comfortable as the weekend goes on. So in the meantime, next 2 days, it's all about the heat, the humidity, temperatures in the 90s, heat index values around 100. So it's definitely kind of heat that we need to take seriously. So a few clouds, warm and muggy tonight, 72 for the overnight low. Next couple nights, we just do not cool off at nighttime. So as we get into tomorrow, it's hot, it is steamy, and this time we'll have a chance for afternoon storms. 92, better chance for these storms, and some of these could be strong on Friday. So Friday's the day to heads up, but low 90s next couple of days. Saturday, still hot and steamy, at least for the first part of the day. It's kind of a transition day. We're going to cool things off, and then, hey, what happened to my 7 day? We're going to cool things off and get back into some mid-80s, a little less humid as we get into Sunday and next week. And I, because the magician that I am, can bring back the 7 day. Oh, yes. There it is. So we're a little, hey. And there's your 7 day brought to you by Members First Federal Credit Union.
Like
I was showing off my magician skills and it didn't work.
No, yes. You're not a very good magician.
But the sponsor is always most important.
The most important part.
There you go. It was so hot, my 7 day melted away.
I believe that.
That's true.
We've got some breaking news just handed to me out of Washington, D.C. The email case against Hillary Clinton has now been closed. The U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch says tonight the investigation is done and there will be no criminal charges. Yesterday, the director of the FBI released his agency's findings, recommending no charges be filed. Lynch said last week she intended to accept the findings and recommendations by the FBI, and I can guarantee we have not heard the rest of that from Donald Trump.
Oh, no, we absolutely have not.
Well, tonight at FNB Field, CBS 21 sports director Jason Bristol is crowning a champion.
He's live at the Senators Stadium now. Jason.
Indeed. Tonight we are recognizing a Senators pitcher with a special award for a very special skill. It's coming up.
Sports with Jason Bristol.
Welcome to FNB Field, where it is hot. And tonight we're also officially crowning a champion. Crowning a champion? The Senators' season's not even over yet. I know, but I'll explain in a minute. But right now, the Harrisburg Senators getting ready to play the Erie Seawolves. Earlier today, some light fielded practice on the field here at FNB Field. Senators at the midway point, right in the thick of things in the Eastern League's West Division, just 2.5 games out. However, this team has lost 3 of its best arms, some of the best arms in all of minor league baseball. Look at the strikeouts now per 9 innings for Lucas Giolito, Coda Glover, Reynaldo Lopez, all promoted from Harrisburg to the majors in AAA. That means other guys will now have to prove their worth, says manager Matthew Lecroy.
You know, when you lose those power arms and a guy on the back end, it makes it a lot tougher, but it also allows guys to pitch in bigger games and more stressful innings to see what they're capable of doing, whether or not they can pitch at the next level. So a lot of good things about it, but it's going to make it a lot tougher. But I think our guys right now that we have are up for that challenge.
And speaking of challenges and Lucas Giolito, Gio still with the big club. He is scheduled to face the Mets tomorrow night. And now officially crowning a champion. That's right, we have a special award now for one of the guys on the Harrisburg Senators. Remember back in April when we had that bubble gum blowing contest? The winner was Tyler Mapes, who beat out John Sims for the title. Now, at that time, I really didn't have anything to give Tyler Mapes for winning this contest other than the rest of the Big League Chew baseball gum. Well, that's about to change. Tonight, before the game against the Erie Seawolves, we will be presenting this to Tyler Mapes. It's a plaque declaring him the 2016 Bubble Gum Blowing Champion, and it will go to Tyler Mapes from the Harrisburg Senators before tonight's game. So, listen, it's something, and it's certainly better than nothing. That's it, live here at FMB Field. Jason Bristol, CBS 21 News. Let's send it back to the studio, guys.
What an award to win.
Well, they took that thing seriously when
Something
Jason
to be
brought
proud
it up.
of,
He said,
yeah.
hey, now you have to do it every year, Jason. They'll expect that competition. We'll be right back with a final check of your first warning forecast after this.
Part of CBS 21 Summer Favorites Contest. We got to enjoy some delicious barbecue from 6 different joints today. We had a blast doing this. You can go online and vote for your favorite barbecue joint on CBS21.com or our Facebook page. You have 7 places to choose from, and we're also going to vote, and we'll announce our picks at the end of the month. We all have our picks picked out, I think, already, right?
I think I kind of do, but I want to go eat again. Just
I
to
know.
Make sure.
Well, we have plenty of leftovers.
It was so good that Lara didn't realize we had to try all 6 places, and she was done eating
Just
it
to make sure.
I ate full amounts at each one.
You did. See how tiny she is. We'll see you for